And we are back. Welcome to the Panthers Den. I am the Dad Panther, and we are talking a little bit about everything when it comes to wrestling games right now. So I've got this like loaded potato. But before I get into it, man, thank you to all the subscribers. Hi new subscribers. Hi subscribers who've been here from day one. I greatly appreciate that. From 0 to 1,000, that's the quest we're on. Now, let's jump into the first part, right? The wrestling code game that is gaining steam and breaking hearts at the same time. I told you guys a while ago about Victoria. I wanted Victoria in the game, and she's not going to be in the game. Now, there's some stuff that changed recently in the background that went from she's not going to be in the game to you saying there's a chance. But then to more heartbreak as Carlito got the opportunity to be in the Royal Rumble, and I jumped out of my seat when I heard the music. And this guy is ripped, man. This guy is eating well and working out well. Chris Masters, you guys are just tag teaming, and like he's learning from you and vice versa. Still, I was sad. I was sad because I knew from that moment, seeing him on the screen, my chances of seeing Carlito on the wrestling code wasn't cool at all. And I know cool, but gotta move on from it. Gotta shake it off. Now, how can I bounce back from this? Well, if the devs from the wrestling code want to be like, hey, listen, we tried to get Victoria, we tried to get Carlito, we're going to try to get Big Cass for you. That way Enzo, Cass XL can go ahead and verse a couple of haters whenever I want them to. Or maybe, just maybe, if you guys are looking for an NPC, right? And I thought about this, like, okay, so how do I get in the game, right? How do the cool cats who subscribed, like, and comment, how do they get me to be in the game, the wrestling code, or any wrestling game for that matter? I could be an NPC. I could be like a mid-card wrestler, you know, maybe you heard of him, Mr. Showtime. Or they haven't really said how they're going to do the story or the create a story, if that is an option, or if there's a career mode. Like we haven't touched that yet. But man, if they did, I don't know if you guys played what's the game called? Madden. I can't believe I did that for a game called Madden. You know what I'm talking about. But anyways, Madden. I can't remember what year it was, but what they did with the commentary, they had tried something different when you did a career mode or story mode, where it sounded like it was a AM radio. And on the AM radio, they actually got content creators and people that were kind of known and coming up in the radio industry. And so you would hear them talk about things that were happening in the sport thing. So as you progress in the season, you might have just gotten traded, and then you would hear me talk about how it felt for you to be traded, and whether it was good or it was bad, or having a guest on, might have been another wrestler, whatever the case is. So I don't know if that's the route they go. I don't know if maybe we haven't talked commentary, though they have listed on I think it's called SmackDown Hotel. I posted it in a previous video, but they do have commentary that's on there. But maybe they add more commentary. Maybe they want to do like a small little gym, and they need somebody to call some slobber knockers. I don't know, but let's get back on track, right? I've already taken too much of your time entertaining you, so let's get into it. Now we're talking about the wrestling code. Now the wrestling code just added, well, not just added, we're just recapping some stuff that might have passed. Tajiri's in the game, and with him, great technical wrestler, honestly, completely underrated. If you want to look at a match, go back to top of my head, 2003 SmackDown. He was going against Rey Mysterio. Go check that match. I think it was for a belt. I'm not sure. Go watch that match. But I remember, was it SmackDown 2006? I can't remember, but I was playing with him in the game, and I enjoyed how the spit the green or the red would come out. And I remember playing with friends, and maybe you did this or you didn't, friends know your finishing moves. They know your signatures and your finishing moves. Man, there was one time I went through and I had thought about it at school. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. As soon as I get home, I'm gonna do it. And I left the system on because that's how old I am. There's some systems you had to leave on because memory cards weren't a thing, or you didn't trust them, whatever the case is. And the worst thing you could hear is you walk through the door, you throw off your book bag. Hey mom, hey dad, what's up? What about your homework? Homework's done. I'm gonna go in the room, I'm gonna play games. All right, cool. Hey, you left your game on? Huh? You already know what's happening, but you're dazed. Huh? Anytime someone says huh, they know exactly what was said. Their brain and their body, it's almost like a knockout, but it's not. Huh? Yeah, you left your game on, so I turned it off. Say whatever you're gonna say after it, whether you're mad or you're sad, that's whatever, that's a reality. So anyways, I went home and I changed Mr. Showtime's moves, his signature move, to the green mist, right? So I put the green mist and then I changed. Normally I go super kick or the impaler. There's so many great moves. Double arm DDT. There's just certain moves I use. I like quick moves. I like moves that like curb stomp, bomb, it's over, it's done. Throw the control in the air, it's over. Mr. Showtime has just won the match. And I have friends coming over. I think it was a weekend. It was like a sleepover or something. So they're coming over. We're all playing. It's like 2 or 3 o'clock, just going at it, right? And then I used Mr. Showtime. I saved him for this moment. Packed house, packed arena, right? Championship belt on the line. And then I go ahead and hit the signature move, and the green mist comes out, which doesn't fit Mr. Showtime's style at all. And everybody just looked like they saw a ghost because it shook them, because they were like, they didn't expect it. And then I switched the finisher from the Sweet Chin Music to the stunner, and it just lights out. They all just flipped out, pizza everywhere. It was awesome, good time. Sorry I said that story. Wow. Yeah, sorry I said that story. That was longer than I thought, but I'll just put podcast in the title. There you go. Anytime I go longer than I'm supposed to, I'm just going to put podcast in the title. And you guys seem to like that as well, because I can see the like buttons. Whenever I ramble or do that and tell a story, that's what happens. You want more of that? When I'm playing wrestling games or certain games, I am singing or I am doing what you just saw or heard. All right, so they got the rest of their mocap gear, the crew at Virtual Basement. And what they're going to do is they're going to start doing mocap, so that's awesome. We're still waiting on the new website, but I'm sure they're working on it. They're tweaking it. They're adding stuff so they can grow with it as things change and let us know. And not only let us know what's going on, but probably let us know how this process is, and so we can see it and maybe interact with the wrestlers in the Discord and things of that nature. So that's going to be awesome. Moving on. Simon Miller has been added to the game, and I said in a previous video that I thought they were going to add him. It was kind of like not on the wire, but it was like a quiet ad. And I guess they went back and said, hey, look, I don't think we said it loud enough. And they said, hey, look, Simon Miller is in the game. And this is big because yes, each wrestler is bringing their own music crew and costume crew, and the DLC, because it's live service, we're going to see characters like Raven, have different costumes, give or take different DLC, and you're gonna see, like, maybe you might see Mr. Showtime as a downloadable character and he's a heel, and then you'll see another downloadable character and Mr. Showtime has a different outfit and he's a baby face. Like, those are possibilities. Okay, so with that being said, those wrestlers are going to self-promote themselves and the game, because they also, I think, get an incentive for the DLC and the purchases and things, like the same way that when you go and buy a wrestler t-shirt, I think it's set up similar. So that's interesting, right? But the part where I lost my train of thought, so Simon brings on a cool aspect because he has such a big following as well. That is another talking head for this game. So I think, again, this is awesome. I thought he was actually going to be in Retromania Wrestling because he was in the bracket. Remember when they were early developing the game, they did brackets for indie wrestlers and other people, and they were trying to get who was going to be the first downloadable content character. Ended up being Chris Bay, which is a great choice as well. I thought if they got Simon on for that would help with conversating to the general public so that they knew that this game was out, on top of having someone who fabulous on the mic, fabulous in front of a camera, and can wrestle. So that's awesome. And remember, 90% of the people in this game are doing their own mocap. So you're gonna get that slap on my head emote or taunt. I'm pretty sure they're doing that right now as I'm talking. What else? AEW says that the game is supposed to come out. This is the wrestling game, because the casino game is already out. And if you didn't see my last video, in summary, I'm not gonna play it or download it because it doesn't really have any of their likenesses or anything having to do with All Elite Wrestling. It's literally just a casino game that you put in real money and you get no real money back, like most casino games. So to each his own, man. If you're gonna do that, do it. But yeah, they do want to go live service on this game. That's supposed to come out during the first quarter, so that's like February, March ish, give or take, of 2022. That's interesting, because wouldn't that put that in the same year as the wrestling code? Wouldn't that put it in the same year maybe as Ultra Violence Pro Wrestling? I don't know, but it's gonna be, you know, like 4 months removed from WWE 2k22, if I'm correct. It's just interesting because unless they're keeping things tight-lipped, I don't think they're that far in the production. I mean, yes, they've got an amazing team that can put some stuff together and then some, right? And Ukes has already been working on stuff in the past before they left, you know, that work that they were doing on 2K. So I don't know, it just seems interesting that they sound like they're still trying to figure stuff out, but they already kind of have a date, or at least an idea when they want to launch the game. So take that for what you want. Moving on, Kenny said in a interview that he wants the game to feel new but play old, and I completely get it. I mentioned it in a WWE 2K want type of video in the past, where you want the game to still feel like those bumps are significant, the pops of the runner, you know, a wrestler running to the ring to like mix up with you, or the crowd doing something. You want that reaction, right? You want the choke slam or the rock bottom or whatever the move is. You want it to feel impactful. It's not just the shaking the controller. There's like an atmosphere. There's a science to it, if that makes any sense. And basically what he wants is, he understands that the game can't be, you know, up is this move, down is this move. You're trying to, especially with the high flyers and the technical wrestlers, you're trying to capture all of these moves, hundreds of moves. How do you do that and still make it feel like it's an old school game? That's a tough thing. If you know what you would do, go ahead and put in the comment. I would love to hear it here at the 13-minute mark. Now, moving on, new controller scheme. Kinda. We're talking about WWE 2k22. What Peter said, one of the devs said, hey, look, there's a chance we're just gonna go back to 2k19 controller because people liked it. And we did the one on 2k20, they didn't like it, and I can vouch for that. Didn't like it one bit at all. The only thing I did like about it, I did like the reversal button, I believe was triangle, and that was cool, but everything else was just overcomplicated for no reason. And they're gonna try to simplify it so that it's still a sim game, but in the same sense the buttons are more impactful for what you're doing. Now, why did they change the buttons from one year to the next when they had a lot on their plate? Just my opinion. I think when Ukes got up and said, hey, bye, see you later, they said, well, we're gonna show them, change some of the buttons, let's make this look new, let's put our name on it. And it didn't work out. So that's just me. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, they're also saying they're gonna work on a live service strategy, and this is coming from the devs from WWE 2K. So for 2K22, that's what they're talking about. Sounds familiar? Yeah, because AEW Games is thinking about going live service. Does that sound familiar? Well, yep. The wrestling code, I think, said it first as of recently. From the gate, they said, hey, look, it's going to be live service. Gimmicks are going to change. Costumes are going to change. Patches, downloadable content. We don't want to do a yearly game. So it is going to be interesting, but I don't know if 2K for WWE is going to step away from doing yearly games, I think that's a lot of money that they'll be missing out on versus last year, business wise. So that's all I got. It's been a long one. 15 minutes. 15 minutes doing a YouTube video. It's technically like a podcast. That's like an Iron Man match. So congratulations, you cool cat. You just did an Iron Man match. You could have been anywhere in the world and you're here. For the people who went ahead and hit Sweet Chin Music on the mouse to hit the subscribe button, hit the stunner on the notification, ring-a-ling-a-ling, I really appreciate that. From 0 to 1,000, that is the goal. Until next time, Kalika-lika-low.